Hello, everyone, welcome back to the World Conflict Monitor. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today, we dive into a dramatic and urgent topic: fire on the streets. People rise against Lukashenko in Belarus. In this video, I will review and explain what's happening, covering the exterior, the public, street, symbols, the interior, inside the country, inside people's lives, institutions, performance, i.e., how the regime responds, how opposition acts, safety features, risks, protections, dangers. Unique selling points, i.e., what makes this uprising different, price, costs, human and economic, and conclusion. From the outside, the streets of Minsk, Brest, Gomel, and other Belarusian cities have become battlegrounds of protest. Red and white flags, the historic Belarusian flag used by the opposition, wave over crowds. Roads are blocked, police lines are drawn, water cannons, tear gas, and armored vehicles line major avenues. The exterior is loud, visible, confrontational. Groups of protesters chant, march, hold banners, march past administrative buildings, press toward police barricades. Security forces in riot gear interpose themselves. The contrast is stark between the people and the state. Here are ordinary citizens, students, workers, mothers, fathers demanding change, faced by armored vehicles, masked security forces, and the stern facades of government buildings. The exterior stage is dramatic, with flare-ups of conflict, clashes, arrests, and sometimes small fires or burning barricades. Inside Belarus, the interior dimension is far deeper and more complex. This is the heart of the story. Belarus is no stranger to authoritarian rule. Alexander Lukashenko has held power since 1994, consolidating control over media, courts, security services, and many state institutions. Inside homes, people whisper, share rumors, transmit evidence on encrypted messaging apps. Inside workplaces, state-run enterprises face pressure, workers strike or abstain from tasks. Inside the judiciary, courts issue harsh sentences to protesters. Inside prisons, detainees face abuse, solitary confinement, torture. Inside hospitals, medics treat tear gas injuries and broken bones under pressure. Inside families, parents fear for their children's safety. Across dining tables, conversations turn political. The interior also includes underground networks. Opposition organizers covertly coordinate protests. Legal aid groups attempt to defend arrested citizens. Citizen journalists collect footage. Social media, though censored or throttled at times, becomes a lifeline. Exiled opposition figures abroad broadcast messages back home. Diplomats and NGOs quietly lobby. The interior is where the regime's vulnerabilities lie. Divisions within the security services, doubts even among ranking police or military. Inside state television, some presenters may quietly question narratives or show hesitancy. The interior is the battleground of loyalty, fear, resistance, and calculation. Turning to performance, how is each side performing? The protesters have shown resilience, creativity, and persistence. They adapt: flash protests, decentralized gatherings, mobile protests to evade mass arrests. They synchronize across cities. They use coded communications to avoid surveillance. They maintain momentum over weeks. On the regime side, performance is harsh but brittle. Security forces respond with mass arrests, beatings, tear gas, water cannons, and internet shutdowns. They attempt mass intimidation, propaganda campaigns, forced confessions on state TV, and appeals to stability and order. The regime also tries to neutralize leaders by arresting or exiling them. But in performance, cracks appear. Sometimes security personnel defect or refuse orders. Sometimes protests go on despite repressions. The dynamic between repression and resistance becomes a performance test. Can the government maintain control, or will the people outlast it? On safety features, meaning what protections or dangers are in place for both protesters and bystanders, the situation is fraught. Dangers: protesters risk arrest, injury, torture, forced disappearances. Police may use rubber bullets, stun grenades, tear gas, water cannons. The regime may cut off communications, restrict medical access, intimidate witnesses. Bystanders may get caught in crossfire, mistaken for protesters. Certain zones become no-go. At night, raids on apartments may occur. On the protection side, some protesters wear protective gear, helmets, goggles, masks, body padding, first aid kits. Some set up safe medic stations or safe houses. Some use secure or encrypted communications. Some activists guide newcomers on how to avoid police traps or avoid being singled out. Legal aid networks try to monitor detentions and push for fair treatment. International observers, media, and human rights groups attempt to document abuses and deter the worst, but overall, safety is precarious and many operate with extreme risk. What are the unique selling points? What makes this movement and moment different or significant? First, Belarus is often called Europe's last dictatorship, so a significant uprising there challenges a long-standing authoritarian model. Second, the protests are remarkably broad-based, not just students or intellectuals, but factory workers, public servants, rural communities, women, retirees, and professionals. Third, technology and social media play a strong role. Despite internet disruptions, citizens share video evidence of abuses, galvanize support, coordinate protests, and draw international attention. Fourth, the regime's response reveals fractures. Some security forces hesitate, defect, or voice sympathy with the people. Fifth, the symbolic power, use of historical Belarusian flag, national identity, reclaiming public space. The movement taps deep cultural and national veins. Sixth, the timing amid other global authoritarian backlashes gives this moment international resonance. It's not isolated, but part of a wave of people demanding accountability. Now, price. The cost is both human and economic, and extremely high. Human cost: dozens, possibly hundreds of arrests, injuries, deaths, psychological trauma, family suffering, disappearances. People lose jobs, contracts, university admissions. Some flee into exile, others face long prison terms. Many have property confiscated, many live under constant fear. Economic cost: protests disrupt transportation, commerce, industrial activity. Foreign investment may retreat. Sanctions may follow, harming trade. The government spends more on security, surveillance, propaganda. Tourism and public confidence decline. The cost to the regime's legitimacy is immense too. For citizens, the price is literal and existential, risking freedom, health, safety, livelihood, family. Finally, in conclusion, this is a moment of extraordinary tension and possibility. On the exterior, Belarusian streets have burst into visible revolt. On the interior, hearts, institutions, loyalties, and fears are waging quiet battles. Performance on both sides is being tested. Will the regime sustain repression, or will people's resilience win new space? Safety is fragile, with serious risk for protesters, but some protective practices mitigate it. The unique aspects of this struggle: its broad base, symbolic strength, technological coordination, internal cracks in power make it especially potent. The price is steep in human life, freedom, economy, and stability. But sometimes such price is the spark needed for change. Belarus now stands at a crossroads. Will Lukashenko double down and isolate the country, or will internal fractures grow and open a pathway to reform? Will the people's unity hold, or will fatigue and repression erode momentum? As we watch, every act of courage, every shared video, every defiant chant carries weight. Thank you for watching this review and explanation. Don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, and share this video so more people understand what's happening in Belarus.